Hello, everyone. So, got a new story today. Let's see what's going on in the world. It says here, woman explains how workload perspectives differ between men and women using boy math. Boy math. Okay. Is that his mom? Oh, no. They're both old. Okay. Okay. Woman, okay. Men and women have their differences, you don't say, which make them unique. Not really. I mean, a lot of animals have different gender. Whether it is physique, emotions, or other aspects. I mean, we have the same emotions, we just express them differently. Men and women have different capacities and mindsets. All right. Often due to the differences, there emerges a sort of clash between men and women. For instance, the idea of working at home may be entirely two different things for a man or woman. Janelle Camus, who goes on X by, what is explained the same using of the concept of boy math, which is not a thing, in her recent post. Due to the trends, many are familiar with girl math concept and are applying it in their lives. Right. Okay. According to the Insider, the popular term girl math is used by girls over the internet to explain how their purchases are useful and of value. The whole idea is to justify the purchase and its worth. This trend went viral and millions began adopting the idea. However, the girl math trend was only the beginning of the craze. What followed was boy math. The boys' math has nothing to do with money or purchases. It is a rather unusual concept. The now trending boy math is centered around boys' ridiculous and bizarre habits. Okay. Is that a woman? It looks like a basketball player with a wig. Naomi Shambles. Okay. Women clapping back with these boy math tweets are everything. Should have just let us have our silly tweets. Now bodies are flying everywhere. Wow. Feel so scared. I wasn't going to post this here since I already posted the slides, but in case anyone prefers content, blah, 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 suck me off. With hilarious examples shared by several users, the trend sure took a liking towards the men. However, not so much the women. The women started the trend. They're the ones keeping it going. What are you talking about? You haven't been attacked. You just said something silly and you kept saying something silly. And some people responding and most of them just not paying attention to it. They believe this concept is nowhere close to their girl math and is undoubtedly the winner. Concerning this, Camo posted, boy math is when he does oil changes and snow shoveling and she does the cooking and laundry and he decides they have equal workloads because they both do two chores. Is that supposed to be a diss? Just the snow shoveling alone is more freaking work than cooking and laundry. But if it's such a bad deal, then switch. What the fuck? While many may agree, several have other opinions. The conflict of thought revolved around the idea that men are unable to gauge the intensity of the work women do compared to men. Cooking, the heat does most of the work. Laundry, the machine does most of the work. Yeah. This is the real boy math. Okay. Oh, who gives a fuck? It's on his paperwork. Don't care. School general studies. They're general studies. Who gives a shit what her favorite subject is? Don't know. It's on paperwork somewhere. It's not important. Don't care. Greek, yeah. How much is the bills? Huh? How much is the phone bill? How much is the goddamn rent? How much is all of that? Ask those questions. How much does your daughter cost you? Don't know. It's not important. Dudes are friends with each other for years, don't know that information about each other. Best friends, known each other for their whole lives, don't know that information about each other because it's not important. It's literally not important. You're like, oh, but you need to know your daughter's school in case you got, you'll find it. There's paperwork about it. You just look for the information when you need it. Fat James Gentleman. The fuck? He still don't care. He's got to pretend like he cares. He doesn't care. He's not even going to learn it after this. She's saying it and he's literally not paying attention. They think they did something. We've known this for years. We don't care. We only pretend that we care because that's how some people seem to judge how much you care about somebody, how much personal information you know about them. We don't need to know that information because we're not going to go spread it and we're not going to really use it until we need it. If you need to know your daughter's birthday, you're just going to look up the information when you need to know it. Most of the time, you don't need to know it. So then you're not going to remember it. Your wife remembers it because she's thinking about when she's going to celebrate their birthday. She's thinking about all that information, all that shit when she's going to make a big deal about it. She's like, oh, it's been this many years. Oh, your daughter's birthday is coming up. Oh, she's got a recital going on. She's talking to the kids all the goddamn time when they're saying nonsense. And we don't listen to that. Because kids talk to talk. They learn in words. They're saying words. Like, oh, my favorite subject is that. She doesn't know much about the subject. She don't care. She's just saying it because it's like maybe she liked the teacher in that class. It's nonsense. It's unimportant. And we don't retain that information. Sorry. With different perspectives in place, it can get tough to understand the opposite. Several users thought an oil change is nowhere close to a daily cooking or laundry chore that is physically and mentally exhausting. It's mentally exhausting. You ladies really use your weakness as a badge of honor, don't you? You really do. You're like daily shit, basic shit that anybody has to do. So much tougher when we have to do it. Even if you didn't have a man in the house, you would still have to do your own goddamn laundry and your dishes and your cooking and all of that shit. It doesn't go away just because of the man. And guess what? If he didn't have a woman in the house, he would still have to do that shit for himself. Guess what he wouldn't do, though? He wouldn't complain about it. And if you if you got to give a few hours a day to cooking and cleaning, that's not comparable to a half-hour oil change once every 6 months. Really? Really? Oh, God. 5 women in their 30s share how they find like-minded people and spend their leisure. What is this? What is this nonsense? While the man would ideally lean into chores like prepping the food, putting the baby to sleep, and so on, the woman has more on her shoulders. Of course you do, because you're the one writing this. She's likely to have to feed the baby from her own body. Oh my God. Who else was going to do that, ma'am? Who else was going to do that? This is the thing. Women do so little that the little bit that they do, they won't let it go. She's going to use that excuse for every goddamn thing. She's going to use that excuse for why he has to pay all the bills. She's going to use that excuse for why she just sometimes doesn't feel like having sex with him. She's going to use that exact same excuse. It doesn't go away. She doesn't use it up like currency. It is still the exact same weight whenever there's an argument. She's going to use it whenever. It's like, oh, you have to do oil change? Well, I have to do this. Well, you have to pay all the bills? Well, I have to do this. It's the same thing. It's the same goddamn thing. You're constantly using it as an excuse. Do more, and you will have more to talk about for what you actually contribute to the relationship. Just saying. Just saying. Like, I remember the kids' birthdays. Who cares? It's written down. The government is the only ones that need to know that information. I don't. They're going to get older, regardless. It's like our kids can't age because you don't know their birthdays. That's not going to happen. Wow. In addition to the other household chores like cooking, laundry, making the bed, and possibly even work, Kamo's post bagged over 2 million views, and comments were flowing in with contradicting opinions. Boy math is when he does the oil change and snow shoveling, she does the cooking, blah, 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 blah. Chanandler Bong? My husband goes to Costco every 6 weeks or so and purchases 8 items. I spend every weekend filling up the grocery cart with $300 of stuff at the actual grocery store. Select it, bag it, haul it home. He said, I do half the grocery shopping. What are the 8 items that he purchases? Are those necessary items? You spend $300 every weekend? How much is that a fucking month? That is insane. I spend every weekend filling up the grocery cart with $300 worth of stuff. She's either lying or that is a mental disease. She's got to be buying shit they don't need. She's got to be. Every weekend, $300? Bruh. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. You can fill up your entire home with what, freaking 8 items. Whatever 8 items he's buying every 6 weeks, probably necessary shit. You can fill up your whole home and get a bunch of freaking food. Maybe he's buying in bulk or whatever. $300 every weekend. Whose money is she spending? There's no way she's coming out of her own pockets with $300 every goddamn weekend. She ain't gonna have enough for all the other shit she wants. She ain't gonna have enough to fucking buy her makeup or do her nails and all the other shit that she wants to do. So there ain't no way it's her money. Boy math is blah, blah, blah. What is this one? Ella. If we're basing value off hours, assuming girls does laundry once a week, it takes 2 hours. It takes 2 hours. What are you doing for those 2 hours? Waiting on the machine? And she cooks for 1 hour, taking off 1 day for eating out, not putting more hours in. She's doing 400 plus hours a year. 4 hours a year? 4 hours a year? No one would even pay you for that shit. You couldn't even get a job doing that and actually pay your own bills. You can make more money, though, within the year for shoveling driveways and goddamn changing oil. You do you do 4 plus hours a year? While Kamo's post encouraged weighing chores, commenters thought otherwise. said, to be fair, shoveling snow is an energy intensive chore. No shit. And changing oil is time consuming and can easily become very difficult depending on the car. And also, you can make a goddamn mistake. So there's a lot more risk involved with changing oil than they are with cooking food and doing laundry. There's a lot of room for error in those things. Weighing chores against it's asinine. All in all, several chores go with the idea that chores should be split based on workload achievement. Boy, math, this one, not more of this. All right, I think that's the end of it. I don't know what this is. Yeah, that's the end of it. That was dumb. That was dumb. It often is. I think, yeah, I think I've said it before, but it seems like these women are just out to make all women look stupid. Like literally, they're just like, I'm gonna volunteer as the spokesperson for all women, and the rest of the ladies are just like, who the hell are you? We didn't elect you to speak for us. They just go out and say dumb shit, and just instead of just volunteering that dumb shit for that's my personal opinion, they're like, oh, this is for the ladies. Anyways, until next time.